Hey guys, it's Chief Jerky and welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're going to be playing Noobs in Combat. Noobs in Combat is a tile-based movement strategy game, and this is going to be the ultimate beginner's guide for this game. Obviously, I've been playing this game a lot. I've maxed out most of my tech tree, and I've also been every single campaign map on try hard mode. So there's 5 things I want to cover in this video, and I'm going to leave timestamps to these parts so you can skip to whichever part you need so that it's more convenient for you guys. So first of all, we're going to be talking about how to play, controls. Second of all, we're going to talk about the currency types, SS3. And then third of all, we're going to talk about units and what different type of units do and how they function. Fourth of all, we're going to be talking about the campaign, what you expect, what kind of rewards you get from them, and the difficulty and the differences. And lastly, I'm going to suggest some units for you guys so that you can progress easier in this game, because the AIs can be quite challenging sometimes. So without any more things to say, let's get right into it. So once you load into the game, this is the menu you'll be faced with, and first of all, you should come here and always collect the mail, because the mail from the developer will give you free gems, a nugget, and 100 red stars. Before anything else, I want you guys to try to complete the tutorial, as many players in this game skip the tutorial and go straight into a match that might be harder levels, and that makes it very difficult for your allies and other teammates to play with you, especially when it's high difficulty, because your troops are not meant to fight against such difficult AIs. So I'm going to quickly go through how you guys access the tutorial. So first of all, you click create room. You make sure that your room is private or not, it's fine because it's a tutorial. You click create, and the first campaign you see here is introduction. And introduction is a great way for you guys to learn how to play this game. So we're in the first tutorial mission, and this is quite self-explanatory, so I'm just going to show you guys what you should be doing. Obviously select your units and make them move forward, because you're trying to capture this objective here, as you can see, or destroy it, up to you guys, but it's probably quicker to capture if you have units. And fun fact guys, you can in fact put a unit on the supply truck and it will move just a little bit quicker. So once you complete your turn, make sure you press end turn so that the enemy gets to make their move. And as you can see, enemies are hidden in trees. That means your troops are also hidden in trees and cannot be attacked unless you attack them first. So I'm going to put this bazooka here, and if he walks forward, then I get the jump on him. And we're going to move the rest up as well. Supply trucks are good for supplying tanks and infantry units, especially when you run out of ammo, because there's a limit to how much ammo you can use, and there's also a different type of range your infantry or your tanks have. As you can see, the tanks have more range of its cannon, obviously, than the regular infantry. As you can see, here's a good example of how the enemies have been hidden in the bush. You can only see the enemies that are in the bush when you're next to them, so. And as you can see, here's the unit being suppressed. When a unit is suppressed, it is unable to move, and certain enemy types have stronger damage against certain enemies. So infantry do better against infantry, and bazooka units do more damage to tanks than a regular infantry would, but they take more damage to infantry, as you can see here. And I'm just gonna clear these guys out as well. Oh wow, they are strong. There we go. Tank can't really do anything right now, although I know there's someone here. I cannot attack them because they are hidden. And once you run out of things to do this turn, you basically just go ahead and end turn. And as you can see, grunts have radio packs, and they can call in artillery, and we'll get into that later, as this is right now not that level to explain how artillery works. we might be able to get a sneak capture on the outpost. So as you can see now that my unit's in the bush, enemies cannot attack it unless they're right next to it. And next round I'll be able to capture this supply depot, but as of right now we should do more damage to the enemies. And we won. As you can see, now that you have a unit next to the supply, you can simply select it and you capture it. And that is tutorial 1 done. And now we're playing tutorial 2, which is focusing on radio units and how artillery works. So in this game, grunts, scout cars, armored cars, battle recons, which are all units by the way, have the ability to radio in artillery support. So I'll show you in a second once we get to that point. So here's a good display of what artillery support can do. So we'll hit him once first, and then you can call in artillery support by selecting on the artillery here. Yeah, we can probably do artillery on him, and then shoot him with the damn cannon. Damn, there's some tough cookies. But artillery can be fired once per round, and usually they don't do that great of damage, honestly, but it is pretty cool. Okay, we got those guys. And then since your artillery is on cooldown and is right next to the supply output here or depot, I will suggest you guys to resupply artillery so that the ammos go back up. While on the topic of units here, you can see their health over here, and what the 44% or the percentage mean is exactly if your unit is weakened, it will do less damage. So at 100%, it will do 100% of its damage potential. While the lower it is, the less damage it will do. And if you kill units with a specific unit, it will gain veterancy, meaning it will do more damage. So you want to try to keep units alive, and you can do that by just supplying them. By supplying your units, you basically heal them. As you can see, he gains some health back, and he also increased the percentage of its damage potential. So we're gonna go fast forward. And radio resets every round, so by the end of the round you can use your radio again. And since these turrets have a range of 2 blocks in front of them, or 2 tiles, you can use the artillery. As long as your unit with the radio is in range of the enemy, you can use your artillery. Oh, thank God for the artillery. Oh nice, now we can move this forward and we can resupply our vehicle. And last unit left, and we should be able to kill it next turn. Tutorial 2 done, guys. So we're now in tutorial 3, and what tutorial 3 mainly talks about is the concept of Overwatch. There's only 2 units in this game that has Overwatch, which is the anti-tank gun and the machine gun gunners. Basically, what Overwatch does is that when a unit is in range of an enemy, it will automatically attack them. So as you can see, if I put this unit here, it's on cooldown. So when it's on cooldown, it won't do the automatic attack, but when it's out of cooldown, it will. So let me just go ahead and move everything. As you can see, this assault gun also has Overwatch. That's because this is the evolution of anti-tank gun. So yeah, basically only these 2 units have Overwatch in this game, and Overwatch is quite a useful perk especially if you're trying to hold down a position and you're not gonna move that unit as much, and it's gonna a great way to just like mow down enemies, as you can see here. As you can see right now, that is display of Overwatch over there as well, and over here as well. It's actually a really cool perk, honestly, but it sucks that only 2 units in this game have it. And the downside is that you have to put your troops in a defensive position, but when it works, that is super satisfying. But it does put your weapon or your like vehicles into cooldown, so you cannot attack once they use Overwatch. It counts as an attack. So as you can see right now, none of these units can use it again except for this one because it didn't attack, or this one. So and there you go again, Overwatch happened again, and that's dead. And there goes that, and this one as well. It's happening everywhere. Oh, and here we go, that's the machine gunner taking off. Super satisfying stuff. But I would like to let you guys know that the objective of this map is to survive, and survive objectives are usually easier in my opinion, and it's probably one of the more fun ones because you get to hold down a position while you make the enemy rush you. But as you can see, Overwatch, very fun ability. And it goes again. And it goes again. That's just so satisfying. But we're gonna need to resupply some of these units. As you can see, it's quickly burning through all its ammo and stuff. Let me move this tank out of the way. We'll push these guys outwards. Oh, I just walked them into a bunker. That's fine. Oh, there goes that Overwatch. Let's move that tank out of the way and resupply our assault gun. Same for this one here. We could attack it, but I do want to watch it do its thing, so I'm just gonna let it auto attack. Oh my god, look at these guys getting shredded. And I'm pretty sure that's GG, yep. That's probably the quickest tutorial out of all 3, but it's also probably one of the most entertaining ones. So yeah. So carrying on from the campaign, once you finish the campaign, you will have 1 nugget, 550 red stars, and 85 gems. That's if you also claim the mail as I've suggested. So, you may ask, what does these currency do? And which one is the most valuable currency? So the most valuable currency in this game has to be the nugget. That's because there's only a certain amount of nuggets you can get from this game, as you can see now. Each nugget is awarded for the completion of a try-hard map. So obviously there's different difficulties, and depending on the difficulty you'll be awarded different stuff. So as you can see right now, try hard on the Chinese resistor map will give you 1 nugget, and you cannot repeat them to get this nugget again. It's only once. And I've done the map for you guys. There's a grand total of 25 nuggets to be earned, not including the fact that you can trade with mods once a month to get more nuggets, but that will cost you a lot, and that's for people who have probably maxed out on their nuggets. But with 25 nuggets, naturally you can probably max out all your deployments, all your deploy points, and probably unlock most of these units here. There's a few things I want to let you guys know about the currency. Is that the red stars are usually used to unlock these type of units, and once you unlock them, evolving them is going to cost you red stars as well. And gems are usually to unlock premium units such as the rocket battery, as well as the land ship. Besides that, gems can also be used to unlock skins, and obviously who doesn't like glorious skins? If you want to play as the Germans or even Nico at this point, I don't even know. And you can trade gems with the mods once a month, and you can contact the mod via Discord. But once again, I suggest you guys doing this once you have reached endgame. Besides that, the points are mainly used for just increasing your starter resources and deployment points. In the beginning of each game, there's a deployment phase, and depending on how much deployment points you have, it will allow you to deploy a certain amount of troops, as well as starting resources, the metals. The metals are going to be used for your late game vehicles such as the heavy tanks or the main battle tanks. Anything that requires metal is going to take metal to spawn in, and you're going to need to increase those resources. And you can increase those resources with red points, and that's why red points is quite versatile, because it lets you unlock troops, evolve troops, buy deployment points, resources, and just deployment in general. And gems are for skins, for special unit types, and the nuggets, the most rare resources of all, is for evolving or maxing out your deployment. And that's pretty much it for currency. Now let's talk about units. Obviously, there's a lot of unit types in this game. However, you can categorize them into a few categories. Obviously, you have your infantry, from grunts, riflemen, bazooka, mortar team. They're all considered infantry, and their movement is quite simplistic. They usually move 2 tiles forward and backwards and 1 tile across. And then you have your artillery. Artillery and rockets are radio-based troops. That means they cannot attack unless they're paired up with radios. And then you have your Overwatch troops, such as the MG gunners, as well as the anti-tank guns and assault guns. And then you have your supply truck, which main purpose is resupply units, heal units, as well as carry units. And then you have your armored car, also known as bikers and scout cars. These troops are generally really fast on the road. However, they are very lightly protected, and they also use very light weapons unless you have them maxed, such as the armored car. And even the armored car's turret is very fragile and is not recommended you use this to fight against main battle tanks. And then you have the battle recon, which is a very strong tank. It's the max light tank, and what it does is that it's very fast on roads, but it also packs an incredible punch with its turret, meaning it's very powerful. And then you have the main battle tank, which is the medium tank, heavy tank, and the main battle tank. And the main battle tank moves relatively fast, faster than the heavy tank, but it has probably the strongest turret in the game, which can one-shot most things. Moving on. Before moving on, I'd like to tell you guys that I did not mention about the half track, nor did I put an image of the assault gunners, because I do not own those units and I did not have enough nuggets for them. As well as the upcoming naval units, I rarely played with them, and I only really played with them in the island hopping. So I might altogether just like skip through this part and end the units here, but I'm going to try my best to mention how these naval units work as well, even though I don't own all of them. So please take this part with a grain of salt. I am very sorry, guys. We have the naval ones. I don't have all the naval troops, but I can briefly explain what they do. Battleships are tied to radio units, so they can only attack a certain area in front of them like this without radio units. Past that certain point, you must use either its biplane, which launches itself, or a radio unit, such as the grunts, the battle recons, or the armored cars. And then we have the transport boat, which is a cargo ship, equivalent of a supply truck but on the sea, and carries 2 units. And then you have the destroyers, which can attack at quite a wide distance and does not rely on radio units, but however it does not do as much damage as the battleship, and it's mainly used to escort ships, as well as it has anti-submarine capabilities, which basically one-shot submarines. And just figure out which one you like. And these units are great. Each one of them have their own roles, and you just have to discover exactly what you like about them. Now let's talk about campaigns. prior to the update, there were 9 total campaigns in this game. However, the Allied front got split into 2 more campaigns now, so it used to be 1 and now it's 2, making that total count to 10 campaigns. Each campaign have 3 different modes: practice, normal, and tryhard. With tryhard giving you the best rewards, usually with the most points, as well as a nugget. But you can only get each one of these rewards once, and once you complete them, the reward will deteriorate. As I show you now, if I go back to Pacific Front, once I finished every single game mode on Island Hopping 2, my rewards are no longer that great, so it's really not worth me replaying these maps. It might be worth it playing on harder maps, like let's say House of Madness. The tryhard mode here may still offer a decent amount of red points, but past a certain point, once you complete all of them, you're not going to get as much rewards as before. And these campaigns are ranked from beginners, medium, hard, and extreme. And obviously, besides that, by the end of each campaign, like if I was to finish Retake Town, then I will also get gems. And that applies to all the campaigns. Every time you finish a campaign, you will get gems. So yeah, that's pretty much it for campaigns. Oh yeah. So here are my suggestions on what you guys should do at starting off after you just beat all the tutorial missions. Obviously, you have about 550 red points, 1 nugget, and 85 gems. And you can spend those gems on either the rocket battery or the land ship, but if you want, then you should save up and buy skins, because obviously skins are more important, right? But what I suggest you is you buy the tank kit, because the tank kit is going to let you evolve and purchase the medium tank, and the medium tank can evolve into the main battle tank, which is the best tank in game. So I'm gonna go ahead and research this, and see now I have the tank kit, and the tank kit will allow me to unlock the medium tank as well as the land ship tank, and I'm going to aim towards working towards the medium tank. And with the remaining points you have, usually I will go purchase the MG gunners, just because it's better off at early stages when you're playing against AIs. They usually spam a lot of grunts or riflemen, and if not, then you should spend your points on unlocking another slot. Why do I suggest you unlocking another slot? It's because you cannot use the tank kit unless you have another slot, or if you want to trade it with a supply wagon or rifleman. But you want to level your supply wagon and rifleman as soon as possible, because those units will allow you to just have a better start in general. The supply wagon will turn to supply truck, which is a really useful support unit, and the rifleman will turn to grunts, and it's just an all-around good unit for fighting infantry, and also have radio packs, which are great for radio support. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy the other slot and equip the tank kit. So now that I spawn with it, and then with the remaining coins and money I have, I might save up and work towards the medium tank, so that I can get that tank in really quickly. And tanks in this game are kind of meta right now, but this is possibly going to change in the future as they add more units. But as of right now, it's mainly a tank dominated meta. So if you beat the next mission and you feel like getting the MG gunner, go ahead and get it, because the MG gunner is also solid beginner unit, or the anti-tank gun. It's all up to you, honestly, but if I was going to give you a suggestion, I'm going to ask you to get the tank kit, and also probably purchase the slot to equip the tank kit. And then with the next games you beat, it's up to you guys on what you should get. But besides that, I think this is a pretty solid start. And with the gems, I did not suggest you guys getting a land ship right now, because of how land ships are, and they're not that strong. They're not strong late game. They're only really good at the early game, and it's gonna get a buff in the future. But as of right now, in this update, I do not suggest you guys getting a land ship. And obviously, if you're at 85 gems, you might as well just save up and buy the German skin, because German superiority. But anyway, that's all for suggestions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is quite a long video, and I've placed timestamps in each one, so hopefully you guys can get to the part you need. But this was quite a long video to make. It took me around 2 to 3 days to complete, and I got all the footage. And I hope you guys like it. If there's any questions, feel free to pop it down in the comments. I will try my best to answer them. And obviously, I'm going to continue to try to make more content for this game, as I'm quite hooked on it. And you know how I am. I usually make content based on how motivated I am towards it. And thank you so much for watching. And if there's anything else, I'll see you guys next time.